Hi guys, it's Carissa. I wasn't planning on making a video, but based on comments I'm getting from my last video, I feel like I probably have some explaining to do. Basically, cycle day 9, I took a test first thing in the morning on an internet cheapie and it was negative. But for some reason, and I've never done this before, for some reason I saved it. I don't think I meant to, but I still had it. It was like on the shelf in our medicine cabinet. And yesterday, which was cycle day 10, first thing in the morning, I tested again. But it wasn't my first morning's urine. I had gotten up a couple of times, like very early in the morning, 3, 4 in the morning to pee and then go back to bed. So I had already peed twice when I took the test, but for some reason I was watching, and I don't always watch it while it's, during its dry time, but I was watching it and the test line showed up and then the control line started darkening. And the test line wasn't dark to begin with, but it was there. And it faded out very quickly, but it was still there. And never ever having seen this before, I was immediately skeptical for some reason. In fact, if it had been an actual positive test, I would have been very disappointed in my reaction after all this time, because the first thing I thought was, there's no way that's real. But because it wasn't the first time I had peed that day, I thought maybe it is real, and it's too early, and I didn't have a strong enough HCG level, whatever. I talked myself into thinking that it was worth holding on to. So I showed both tests to Mike, and he said there was undeniably a line on the test line from yesterday's test. But I tested about an hour after that, and it was stark white negative, just like it always is. So I left it alone. I had things to do yesterday. I was away from the house. I didn't bring any tests with me or anything. I just tried to forget about it. And then this morning I tested again, and today is cycle day 11, and I received another clear as day negative test. So it sucks because there was some kind of fluke about that one particular test that made it look like it was positive. And if I can get it to show up in a picture, I will add it at the end of the video. But basically, to the naked eye, you could see it. It's barely there, but you couldn't deny it. It's still there. So tomorrow being cycle day 12, when I normally would have tested or would have had a blood test if I had had a procedure, I am pretty sure I'm going to just leave it alone. I really don't want to test again and see another negative. And I've been getting a lot of pre-period symptoms, very specifically, nothing that would ever make me, if maybe I was having like breast tenderness or nausea or something that would indicate that things are different, I would consider it. But I'm basically preparing myself for cycle day 1. And yesterday I just wasn't taking it very well. I was just very upset. Partially because April, we're on our own. We're not planning to go back to the facility yet, and frankly, we don't know when we're going to go, and when we do go, what we're going to do. We're at the point where we have had 5 or 6, and I know it might sound strange if you don't know this already. I can't remember how many IUIs I've had just because I block it out. I get stressed and I get frustrated, and I just don't like to think about it. So I don't remember if it was 5 or 6. It could be 7. I'm not sure. But I don't know. We've been advised against injectables, and I don't know if I'm ready to give up and say, all right, now we have to save for IVF, which we get no help on. Our insurance doesn't help at all. And so our medications, our procedure, everything is out of pocket. And it's hard to prepare myself mentally for the fact that that's likely to be our next step, especially considering how much I have done to try and make these cycles go in our favor. And it seems every cycle I add on anything from 2 to 5 more things that I'm going to try and change about my lifestyle and my daily routine to better our chances. And so next month would be a natural cycle, which sucks. If medicated cycles and monitored cycles and very thoroughly planned out cycles don't go in our favor, a natural one feels like it's just a waste. And I know that that's, just negative test mentality talking. And I go through this at the end of every cycle. I feel like giving up. I feel like just resigning myself to the fact that it's not worth wasting my life and my good faith, feeling like I'm working with the impossible. So I don't like to admit that very often, because in the few very, very rare instances that I do try and talk to other people about how it feels, even my own husband, I get told that I need to relax or that I need to be okay with the fact that things just might not happen that way. And I don't want to do that. I mean, obviously I try and maintain a relaxed attitude about it, but there's only so many things you can do to calm yourself down when you're scraping your pennies together to make something happen that's not happening. And I have drastically changed my diet, and these aren't things that I'm doing for 1 or 2 weeks or 1 or 2 cycles. I'm making very positive changes and I'm sticking with them. And recently, this past 2-week wait, I kind of said, screw it, and I just ate whatever I wanted to, within reason. But I ate things that I was restricting myself from having, because I just felt like, I don't know, maybe I thought it was going to bring me some kind of temporary joy, and it didn't. It never does. But so basically next month is all natural, and I hate that, but I have to do it that way. Even if we decided to go back to the clinic next month, there's no way I could see us doing more IUIs, at least not without moving on to injectables. And that's just, it's just a whole other chapter that I didn't want to have to think about. So that's what's going on. And I'm doing something, the reason I'm in this room right now is I'm trying to let go of it. When we bought our house 4 years ago, we just left this bedroom as kind of a junk room. Like, we treated it like an attic almost, because we always thought, it'll be easier to not create like a spare bedroom or an office out of it if it's just going to be a nursery at any point. And I think that I'll feel a big weight lifted if I don't have this room waiting for a baby. So I do my makeup in here, and I store all my crap in here, and my jewelry and perfume. So I figured I'll make it purposeful. I'll organize it. I'll make it feel nice for me. And do that for myself. I'm not going to do a big overhaul. I'm not going to paint or anything. I just want to make it nice, and hopefully that will distract me through the cycle in April and get my head straight for what I need to do next. But I just wanted to share that with you guys and kind of get you caught up, because I did throw kind of a wrench into my video by mentioning that I had a false positive test, but I know that it's negative, and I appreciate all the support and and the good thoughts. But that's all I've got for you for now. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much for your concern. I really appreciate it.